Hello, everybody. I am just watching the coverage of the Lindsay Clancy trial for today, and God, my heart goes out to everybody involved in this case. Um, Lindsay, her fella, what's his name, who went on and married a new gal, Rachel. My heart breaks for the grandparents. My heart breaks for the aunts, the uncles, everybody involved. Like, there's just no positive or happy outcome for this. I feel bad for the folks that treated her. I just feel bad all the way around. The two sources I'm going to for coverage each day of the trial are the Hot Mics podcast with Billy Bush. A lot of people know him from a scandal a few years ago, and he speaks beautifully and from the heart on the girl who was caught smiling at the trial, and he gives some great context to what she was actually smiling about and what the situation was. She was not smiling about testimony. She was not smiling about the situation. She was smiling because her shoe and her heel got stuck. Um, and so it had nothing to do with anything that was being said, any of the situation. And we've all had embarrassing moments, and we've all had times where we laughed nervously or we reacted. When I was growing up, they used to call it church giggles. I don't know what they call it now, but anyways, we've all had those moments. My other source that I go to is the Caught in My Web podcast. Billy Bush is on YouTube. I don't know if he's anywhere else. That's where I watch him. And Caught in My Web with Jodine Weber is over on Patreon. And I actually found her from Kate Casey. But I find them both to give very different points of view. Jodine is a retired FBI agent and an author, and she thinks of things very analytically, and she brings an interesting point of view. But in addition to the analytics, she also brings a great amount of heart and warmth to the people that she's discussing. And she doesn't disparage people who believe something different than her. I noticed that a lot during the Koberger trial and the Koberger case. A lot of people would attack her with various theories. I know that that particular case had a lot of conspiracy theories. This Lindsay Clancy case has some conspiracy theories also. Whether they're founded or not is not up for me to say. I just appreciate the way that she approaches it. And also, the biggest shout out I would like to give is to Lindsay's attorney, Kevin Reddington. He reminds me of my dad and his friends from the Legion or his friends from the fire department. When he called the reporter a predatory weasel or a bias weasel, something like that. When he said weasel, oh my God, it brought me back to my childhood and listening to my dad and his friends talk about a news story or talk about a football game or something like that. Men of that generation are no longer a part of my life. They've all passed on. There's just my godfather left, but my dad and all my uncles have passed on, and I feel like there's somewhere sitting around making bets on this Kevin Reddington's closing statement and what he might include and what he might not include. I like the way he dresses. I like the way he speaks. I love his Boston accent. He reminds me of somebody who I might have seen on a TV show called Greater Boston with Emily Rooney when I was growing up. Used to be on PBS at like 7 or 7:30 on weeknights, and I loved watching it. But anyways, that's my takeaway. It's just heartbreaking, absolutely all the way around. I hope that she gets to stay at Tewksbury Hospital, where she seems to be receiving quality care. They're able to provide her with a 24-hour round-the-clock one-to-one, because regardless of the criminal proceedings, this is a woman who requires care. And it seems like of all the care that she tried to get, she certainly tried a lot of care. This seems to be the one thing that seems to be keeping her alive. So I hope that she gets to stay there regardless of the outcome of the trial. So check out Hot Mics with Billy Bush. Check out Jodine Weber on her Caught in My Web. And if you get a chance, look up Emily Rooney on Greater Boston. I'm not even sure if the show is still on. I haven't lived in Boston for over a decade, or Massachusetts for over a decade. But when I was growing up, it used to be on PBS at 7 o'clock or 7:30 every night. And if not, I'm sure there's clips on the internet somewhere, because she was wonderful and daughter of a very famous dad herself, Andy Rooney's daughter. So everybody have a good day. Look for the chances to be kind where you can, especially when cases like this and things like this are happening in the world. Look into some of the other mothers that are on trial or have been on trial. There's a famous case out of Brockton, and I always say the name wrong, Latarsha. Please forgive me for saying it incorrectly. There was a domestic violence case down in Texas, I believe, this week too. So just let's women support women, okay? And humans support humans. And just be kind where you can. Have a good day, everybody.